right? So 100 women, 15 guys, so we have to entertain everybody. And the girls usually can win prizes, and usually they have a lot of fun. And we have girls who come on 5 events already because they like it. There are some who don't, but some really like it.
Yeah, it just pumps so much energy in the room when you have things like that going on. And guys, it's not easy. I was talking to the guys at the end of the social, and they were exhausted. I mean,
Yeah.
this is an event. This is something that the women really look forward to. The way they dress too. That's the other thing I noticed.
But you like that, no?
How well dressed they were. Oh my gosh! I mean, every one of those women were like they were going to a ball. I mean, the hair, the lipstick, the makeup, the everything. I mean, it was just amazing what they did to get themselves ready to come and meet you guys. Right? They're putting a lot of effort into this. They want to try and meet someone. That's why we do what we do. And so, and it goes a long time. It starts around 5:30 or 6, and we're there until midnight, almost 1 in the morning. I mean, we were there a long time.
I mean, we started a little bit later this time because we had a lot of rain.
Yeah.
So the weather was, unfortunately, we had this tropical storm, I think, which is right now over the U.S. Some flights got canceled over Miami as well, and I think we had the beginning of the storm here, and it rained a lot, and Cartagena usually doesn't rain. We're still in the end of the rainy season, but it rained 3 hours, and then the sun comes out, and everything is beautiful, and we had a little bit bad luck this tour. I think it was the first tour we ever had that we had 3 days of rain in a row. But still, I mean, the girls arrived, the guys had a good time. The dates, we were worried that the dates weren't really getting here because Cartagena has sometimes a flooding issue, so the streets get flooded quite quickly when it rains. And so we had a little bit, we're a little bit scared that maybe the girls cannot come to the dates, but they were already motivated. We have already quite a few couples on the way. Yeah, we have, I think, 3 already who said they don't want to meet anybody else. And as I said, it's just the beginning. It's just the beginning of everything. And so I think we're getting there. Yeah.
Like little fire and force, they're blowing on it, making this relationship grow and grow and grow. But that says a lot too, because if you've ever been to Cartagena, it's not easy to get around the city when it rains, and it did rain quite a bit, and these women still came. Mm. And so I think that again says a lot about their motivation.
Yes.
Why they're here, and they really do want to try and meet someone. And you see it on their faces, especially at the beginning of the evening. There's so much hope, on their faces and expectation and all of that. So it's just something that you've never experienced until you go. And I've been saying this for so long, so many years, that guys, until you come until you really experience it, you'll never know. And I had a gentleman on this tour that had been looking at this for over 20 years. He's been looking at it, Benny. He's been looking at it for a very, very long time. And he said he finally decided to pull the trigger. So I remember talking when we do a orientation on the phone, and he was talking about that too. And then I got to meet him in person as well. So don't wait 20 years to do this. That's crazy. The worst case scenario is you're going to have a great vacation. You're going to have a vacation that you'll never forget. You'll make some wonderful friends with the staff. I mean, the staff here treats you guys like family. It's so wonderful to walk in here and just see the smiles and the guys come in. We had a gentleman in here who was just a couple hours that between dates. He was just hanging out in here, talking with the staff, relaxing. It's just such a great environment that they make. You feel like it's just your friends and family taking care of you when you're here. It's something that's just you never really can imagine what it's like until you come.
And that's the beauty of the Colombian culture, really. I do think that it's probably in every office the same. I think in every office everybody treats you like family and friends, but I do think the Colombian people do go a little bit, I don't know, they just mean it. It's like they really want you to feel comfortable in this country. They really want you to fall in love, A, with the woman, but B, with Colombia. They really want you to feel comfortable, and you can see it. Everybody's always so happy when the tour starts and when we see the first couples. Alexandra was even crying the other day because Casey came and just said, I am done, I found her, I'm in love, I don't want to date anymore, and she started crying. So Alexandra, Alexandra, she's often on the show, she does all the interviews as well. And so, we are very happy when you guys meet somebody and when our job really is, fulfilled, let's say, right? And the connection is there and you two are just see the smile on the face and of both, and they just was so cute yesterday evening on the penthouse party. They were so cute, really. And she said, I feel the same, because he was standing in front of her and told her then that he really is, like, he really feels so comfortable. I feel the same. I want to be with you. And so that's so beautiful.
Yeah, she was talking about how caring he was, how warm he was, and all these things. And just looking at her with this huge smile on his face. that's why we do what we do, guys, is to try to bring you together. And so any opportunity you get to come and do this, whether it's here in Cartagena or the other cities, Medellin, Barranquilla, or anywhere in Latin America, Asia, wherever, just go, meet.
Just go.
Writing letters is not going to get you. You know, it may help. It may help the process if you do it the right way and do it in a limited way, but you got to get your stuff over here.
Yeah, and it doesn't have to be on a tour. Because sometimes you guys cannot make it on a tour date because there are certain dates in the year where the tour happens, and it's not every month. So it's in every city 2 or 3 times a year. So if you cannot make it on that tour, you can just go on individual introduction. You can do the Latin club. You can do the elite club. You can do the executive service. You can do a video call. The video call, then you meet, hopefully. But the video call also helps a lot because you already get a better idea of who she actually is and how she laughs and how she talks. Because if you write just a letter, you, of course, get a lot of information too. It's not that not, but talking to somebody on a video, and Zoom is right now really doing a great job, and you get a real feeling how she would be in person. Obviously, in person is the next step, and that is the next thing to do. But there are lots of possibilities to meet here, and you can just reach out to me. I think you see my email address here, afacolombian7@gmail.com, and we have a form, I think, below as well. If you want to fill that in, then I reach out, or somebody reaches out from our staff to you and give you information how it works, because sometimes you obviously, as we have different services, sometimes don't know which one to choose. But if you cannot make it on a tour, there are so many other possibilities to meet in person.
Another thing, guys, about coming here to Colombia is that the dollar goes so much further now. I mean, it's insane. Right, you know, it used to be way back when it was about 1,600 pesos to a dollar.
Yes.
This was a long time ago, but it was about 1,600.
When I came, it was 2,000.
About 2,000. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now it's almost 5,000 pesos to a dollar, right? And so you can get a taxi ride here for pretty much anywhere in the city for maybe $1.50, $2. Yeah, I mean, it's just incredibly inexpensive. Yeah. The dollar just is so strong here; it just goes so much further, and that's a great thing for you. If you're going to be traveling here, your money's going to go a lot farther. When you go to a restaurant,
how much did you pay? That's why I want to ask. How much did you pay for a plate the other day in a nice restaurant?
Like $10, like $10, $12, and it's this huge soup to nuts type meal. I mean, it's great. We went and took the whole staff out for a wonderful meeting, which was great. It was so great to have all of them there at once. Yeah, that's true. Everybody was here. And oh my gosh, the whole bill was just a fraction of what it would have been in the States. And so that's another reason to get yourself out here, especially the inflation that's going on right now in the States. Come here, it's like anti-inflation. It's the difference. It's great.
And also investing here, like if you find a wife in an apartment or whatever, it is a possibility because your money goes so far right now. And I know that in the US, it's getting more and more and more expensive, especially housing. So, and more people can work remotely or retire. So Colombia is actually a really nice place to live, to be here, or to be here a couple of months a year because it's always warm. So if it's getting cold now in November, here it's always warm. And you can go at 7 a.m. in the morning into the ocean. You can go at 11 p.m. in the ocean. It's still warm. So, and that is what I love about Colombia so much.
Yeah, the people are just so friendly.
Yeah.
And that's not, I mean, Colombia is, you walk these streets, and, you know, they may not have much, but everyone's always smiling. And, yeah, they're just, you have to come. Check it.
You have to come. I'm looking at your questions, guys. We have John Adams here on the show, which never happens. So if you have
first time on your Latin show, I
really?
think.
Yeah. So yeah, of course. You did the Monday. Did you do the Monday one?
No, they don't let me do the Monday.
No,
they
not anymore.
Kick me off.
Oh, so it's good that you. It's good that you're here. That's good. Then we can have you more. So if you have a question for John, please, because I tried to answer all your questions, but John will be leaving in about 5 minutes. So if you have something to ask John, especially. Please go ahead. I think we have one question here, which is good for John, which is any chance of doing seminars in the near future, Eric Lee? Hi, Eric. How are you tonight? Good that you're here again. Is asking.
So we do want to do seminars again here. You know, the pandemic really stopped us from doing it. Now we're coming to the end of that, thank goodness. Then we have the war with the Ukraine, right? So now we can't do so much in the Ukraine. So we just have not had the opportunity really to do the seminars. But I think next year we'll start doing them again because I really love doing it. I love being in a hotel room, a conference room with, 30, 40 of you guys, and we're just talking to each other. It's not just me standing up there talking, it's we have guests, and you guys are putting a lot of your input into it, and we're just talking about why this is a possibility, why this works. and everything that's involved in it. And it's a great energy. It's a great way to meet other guys that are thinking about doing it. So there's a lot of benefits of doing the seminars. I just like doing it. So I think that we will start doing it.
Yes, and also the guys always tell me, "Oh, I met John on the seminar. I met John on the seminar. I met John on the seminar." So a lot of you know John because of the seminar. So yeah, definitely.
Yeah, we've had a lot of you guys that have done a seminar. Yeah. Finally, that was a little kick that you needed to get yourself to go and do it. Yeah.
And virtual seminars?
Virtual seminars we did for a while, but it's not the same. It doesn't have the energy. You can't really get the same message across. So we really haven't been doing the virtual seminars. I want to do them, but I want to do them in person.
Okay. So let's see the other questions we're having here. How far in advance of a tour must we put down a deposit? McKissick is asking.
Yeah. Lately,
the sooner the better.
Yeah, lately you really want to get your deposit in. If you know where you want to go, and you can do that within, say, 4 or 5 months at least of the tour, then try and do that, because these tours have been selling out like crazy lately. Part of that's because we're not doing the tours anymore in the Ukraine, so a lot of the guys that would have been going there are going to other places. And so, and China too, we're not doing China because of COVID. So our tour destinations are somewhat limited right now, and thus they're selling out much more than they used to. So if I were you, I would get that deposit in. It's only a $475 deposit. Put that in on any particular tour you want to go. If you can't make that tour, you let us know in time, then we can take it out. It'll still be there for you to put on another tour, so you really don't lose it.
Don't do it just last minute, like do it a month before, but last minute.
Yeah, don't do it last minute because you might not get on. I had a guy call me today, wants to try to get on the Mexico tour. I'm like, well, we have about 3 or 4 or 5 guys, whatever it is, on the waiting list.
Yeah, we have waiting lists right now. Like we have quite a few, not that short waiting list. So. So I think one of our clients in Medellin, he was so happy. He got on the waiting list, and then he got an apartment, he got a motorbike, and he's still there. He never left after the Medellin tour. And he's actually going to stay until January. So yeah, this is definitely, the waiting list is a possibility. So Eric, any chance that the Latin show can be weekly? Yes, it can be. The problem is we're traveling too much. I'm traveling too much, and we're having the tours every time in the middle. So it's sometimes a little bit difficult when we are in the middle of the tour, or when we are before of the tour, that we can actually do the whole Latin shows in a great way, have everything set up for you. But yeah, I would love if we can next year to have that Latin show weekly, because you guys are asking for that. So
and we were lucky enough to have the manager for Peru, Sarah, come here and be with us. So she was going through the whole process of all the tour, the socials and everything. And, she was really excited about it as well. And Peru is one of the most interesting locations that I've been to. I love Colombia, and I love Peru as well. They're equally great for different reasons, but you have to go as well there to experience that.
I think Peru is a very beautiful country. And the women, I think, are very nice, like not as spoiled, not as maybe, I think they appreciate you a lot, the Peruvian women. Mark, I love your comment.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
No, I missed that. How did I miss that, Maria?
Mark Smash is saying, John, I think all the AFA stuff needs a raise.
We work on that. We always do, believe it or not. And that's another cool thing about our staff. I mean, we've had some of our staff members that have been with us for 25 years, for 20 years. Many have been with us for 10 years more. So, it's great because they love what they do. The passion there, right? And so it's good.
Yeah. So, Mark, and I hope to see you on the tour very soon as well. Melvin, hi, how are you, Melvin? Cartagena's #1 on my list. I'm looking forward to see you in Cartagena, Melvin. The next one in Cartagena is in April, 15th of April. So, but if you don't want to wait so long, as I said, you can also come on an individual tour. You can go on individual introductions, paying per introduction if you want that. So that is definitely also possible. So let's see, how many women can you invite, John?
How many women can you invite?
Wow, John Hollywood Adams is here.
Sly. How are you, Sly? How many women can you invite? Guys, we try to tell you right around 20 or so, right? But if you have 30, okay, put 30 on your list. But let's not have like 100. I mean, it gets a little crazy. But 20 to 30, somewhere in that range is fine. But when you get here, you're going to be meeting so many women. And I would, if guys, that's a great point too, because you talk about those lists. Some guys get so caught up with those lists, and I have to meet this woman. I have to meet this woman. Yet she's just a face on a website. And yes, when you get there, you may get to meet her. You may not. It just depends on her. It depends on a lot of different things. But you're meeting so many other women, and I can tell you that most of the guys that have married women that were never on their list, never on their radar screen, just like myself. I married Tanya. She wasn't on my list. I didn't even know she existed till that night, right? So when I met her at the social. So I can tell you guys that, yes, it's great. You want to come over and you want to do a little bit of homework, and there's women you want to try and meet. And I would say if it's really important to you, like Maria was talking about, do a Skype call with them before you come, right? And then ask them out before you come. There's nothing wrong with that. Or ask them if they're going to come to the social, and then you can meet at the social. But we'll also try to invite. But when we try to invite and they don't know anything about you, then sometimes it's more difficult to get them to come to meet.
And the beauty of the social is really that you meet women you didn't expect to meet, and you go. I have it every time on the social. And actually, it's why I like the socials as well, is because you look at some guys who are looking at profiles for months, weeks, years, I don't know, and then they meet the girl on the social. I would have never recognized her. I would have never put her on my list, and she's amazing. I said, yeah, that's the beauty of the social, that you just feel, not just see a picture. You talk to that person, you feel the energy, you feel the connection right away. You see the smile, you see her eyes. It's a completely different experience when you go there and really meet. And just being spontaneous and being open-minded, just let surprise yourself, is a very beautiful thing. And I have seen guys who said, I don't want to do any list. I don't care who's there. I know the right one will be there if that's meant for me. And I love that attitude. And it worked out pretty well.
Great attitude.
Yeah.
The guys that come over, and that's another thing, it's all about the mindset. The guys that come over with that really good attitude, that great mindset. And that's how it was with this group. I mean, these guys had such a good attitude. Yeah. They're always smiling.
Very great group.
We did the Chiba bus thing.
The party
bus. Those guys were so happy on that bus and having a great time. I mean, just great attitude. And that really goes so far. Because women love to see that. They don't want a gloomy cuss. They want someone who's going to be happy and having fun. That's what they want.
Especially Colombian women, they're very energetical, and they want somebody, and they're very outgoing and happy, joyful, and that's what they want from a man. I know John has to go, but there's one question, John, I cannot answer. Great webcast. Jack is saying, can you update us on the Mexico tour? Such who will be our tour leader? Any more profiles of women in Mexico City? And does the hotel have a gym with 3 weights?
Okay, so the tour leader is, well, you're going to have Olive is going to be there as the leader. You're also going to have Joe Nail is going to be there as one of the leaders. He's great. He's been with us for over 20 years. As far as the free weights, I don't know. I don't recall that, but you can get with Michelle, and she can let you know about that. But that hotel is special. That hotel is really neat. The location is amazing. It's right in the center where you want to be, and you walk right out. There's all kinds of cafes and restaurants. But don't drink a beer on the street, guys. Stay in the restaurant. 2 of our clients had a little bit of a run-in with the cops because he walked out of the bar with a beer and was walking down the sidewalk. Don't do that. But it is right in the middle of everywhere you want to be. It's really a cool, older hotel, nice hotel, but historic. They got the old telephone room where the bar is, and all these really old telephones from the 20s. It's just so cool. You'll see what I mean when you get there. And you're obviously going, so that's great. Congratulations. And you're going to have a great time. Mexico, the food there, the food alone was really, really amazing. Still great. All right, I've got to run.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for letting me be on the show. I appreciate everything you do. You're great. And have a great rest of the show.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Thanks. Bye-bye.
So I'm so happy John was here and here on the show and here with us at Cartagena. That was very special for us. And so yeah, I hope you guys are going to meet John at some point as well. If not, he talks to everybody on the phone, and he's always on the phone. So yeah, I'm really happy that he was here with me. And so let's get a little bit more into your questions. If you have more questions, send them in. And then I'm going to talk a little bit about the travel restrictions. If there aren't, so no worries. And then we go into our testimonial. So let me check on your questions. So you quit, you did write a blog now, so that's great. So did men go to live in Colombia while they get married? Or are they doing WhatsApp and he visits once every 3 months? How long for the visa for her to move to the US? What will she do when she's there? It gets really boring once the honeymoon is over. Okay, first question. some men do decide to live in Colombia while they get married. Then you are flexible and you can do that. Some guys decide to do that to be able to spend more time with her. Most of the men are doing that, what you're saying, they're doing WhatsApp. After you met, you can exchange your contact information. And then usually the man visits, I don't know, every 3 months, but some can go every 4 weeks, some can go every 8 weeks, some go every 3 months, or some go even less. So that depends obviously on you, on your job, and the time you have available. Then the question, how long for the visa for her to move to the US? It depends. Right now it's a little bit changing. I think it's getting better. I think it's around 1 year, 10 months to 12 months to get that Beyonce visa. A tourist visa right now is a little bit more difficult, but also it's getting better. And some women are able to get their interview appointments a little bit earlier. And I have seen that and has worked for some of the girls. So it depends obviously a little bit on the case. And what will she do when she's there? It gets really boring once the honeymoon is over. I mean, that it also depends on the woman. I mean, lots of them can learn English. I think there are a lot of jobs you can do remotely, online. Maybe she can, I don't know, do something where she feels productive, but also maybe doing something she was really interested in. Maybe it depends. I have sometimes lawyers who want to work in the US, so then she has to do I think the bar exam one more time, but I think it's not that long. I think it takes a year or something. Don't take me completely, it can be a year, 1.5 years, 2 years, something around that. But it's not that complicated to get approved in the US. For example, if you're a lawyer, then she can start working. And so I had a couple, she got pregnant. I mean, it depends completely, obviously, to you, of you and what she is and how she is, what you do. But usually there are lots of things you can do, learn and improve, and while you're waiting on your green card. Dan is saying, hi Dan, I think I decided to come to tour in Barranquilla in summer, June-ish or so based on dates. Yeah, that's perfect Dan. We're looking really forward to meet you there. It will be a pleasure. And Barranquilla is one of my favorite tour destinations, so I'm looking forward to meet you there. Eric, we already had your question, so let me see. How do we online pay a deposit for a specific tour? It only gives the option to pay in full when submitting the form online. I do think you can click 475 deposit, if I'm not wrong, on the website, where you also select the tour, but I think you can just say deposit and then you decide which tour. Or I think you can do the full option and then just pay the deposit. So I'm not so much in the booking process, so if you have any questions, please reach out to Michelle or write her an email. You can write her, call in our Phoenix extension. If you get you get the menu and then it says for group tours, press 5 or something. I don't know the number exactly. Or you write an email to her and it's groupdesk@lovememail.com, and then you can ask her a little bit more about that, how to submit the payment online. Melvin, I can't wait to go there, meet these women at a couple of socials. Yes, at a couple of socials. Yeah, that will be fun, Melvin. You know how it goes, so it's a lot of fun. What food do they have at the social? So this social we had on Friday, we had beef in a truffle sauce. I don't know if it's truffle in English. I hope that's the word. And then we had like some, I think, potatoes with cheese on it, gratinated potatoes and vegetables. And on Saturday we had salmon with, what was it, accompanied the salmon with, but it was really good. And we had an entrance, one day we had the soup, another one we had like a shrimp thing, and then we also had dessert. So, but if you have any specialties that you don't eat or something, then we can obviously take care of that, no problem. So music is saying, let's say you meet a girl and decide to be together. What next? WhatsApp video chats twice a week. The man goes to Colombia once every month. How to maintain while she gets a visa? I think that is similar the questions. So yes, exactly. WhatsApp video chats and talking every day. Like the woman, I told you that on the orientation meeting, how different the communication is in Latin America or in Colombia compared to the American or European culture. So the woman expects you not only do maybe twice a week a communication and a video call, if not like texting several times a day, like at least at good morning, good night, and if you can talk to her at lunchtime, that's great. If you can do it even more, the better, because the more you talk to her, the more she feels you think about her, and the more she thinks you think about her, the more secure she is that you love her, and then the more happy she is. So having a lot of communication with a Colombian woman, it's like what she needs. It's very different, as I said, from your culture, but it's very common here. And then obviously you can do video chats twice a week or once per week or 3 times a week, but a daily communication is necessary. Don't just write every 4 days and she will think you're with somebody else. She will think you're not interested. She will think you don't want her. So make sure that she understands that you really want her, and be the man and write her as much as possible. And don't be afraid. Really write, because they really like that. This got now updated. So there was another question. Exactly, and how to maintain her while she gets a visa. So how to maintain her while she gets a visa. Some women, after a while, or some relationships, some couples, after a while, decide that the man supports the woman financially in some way, not completely that he takes care of all of it. It depends on the guy, but usually, I don't know, the electricity bill, or you pay her phone bill, or you pay the water bill, or you pay her rent if you want, and she pays the utilities, the internet bill, whatever. Sometimes men obviously help her out if you're already in the visa process and getting really serious. Also, might give her money per month, and some girls also quit their jobs to have more time for that guy. So be a little bit careful there. You can check back with us stuff, what is appropriate, what is not, what you should do, what you shouldn't do, because it's like a fine line of what is good to do and what is maybe too much to do. So it's not that easy to know. But once you are at that point, you have that relationship, and you are at that point and you're saying, okay, we get really serious here and I would like to support her, what is the best way? Then you can just reach out to us again, and we give you a feedback what is appropriate, so that you feel that it's all right and that there's nothing weird going on. So Ronnie Hedegaard, hi from Denmark, Scandinavia. Hi Ronnie, great that you're tuning in, and it's quite late in Denmark, so thank you for being here. That is really, really cool that you are here. Any vegan options on the social, Visio is asking. We can find vegan options. It's not that we have like everywhere you go, you have 500,000 options, but there are vegan and vegetarian restaurants in Colombia, and we can get you a vegan option as well if you let us know the time ahead for the social, no problem. I'm doing K1 as a paralegal. It has been 30 months. I heard that the average is 40 months or so to get the K1 approved. Yes, it depends on the case. It depends on the time. As I said, you probably, if you have been 30 months, you filed that 30 months ago, and then it was definitely 14 months. That is completely true, but right now it's getting a bit better. I'm not saying you may be through in 8 months. Before pandemic and a couple of years ago, it was 6 to 8 months. It was not that bad. But I do think we're around like 12 months-ish. Depends on the case. I mean, but they say it's a little bit faster right now. So I hope if you decide to do that, and it's going really, really quickly for you. John left before my question was asked. Oh, I'm sorry, Mark. There's so many questions right now here, but I will look through them, and if there's something I cannot answer, then I will send this to John, and he can be back on one of our Latin shows, and if not, I give you hopefully the answer soon. So, August, I strongly teach gentlemen to leave the US and find their queen. You guys making that even more possible. Great work, Augustus. Oh, thank you so much, Augustus. That is amazing. And thank you for your comment. And yes, we do our best. We do our best. Definitely want that everybody's happy in finding that special person. That is what we want. Let me see what else. Let's add what you're asking. When is John Evans going to have a seminar in Orlando, Florida area? John was just was saying that probably next year he would like to do the seminars again. I don't know when, and I don't know how many, but I think also Florida was often there. I think Las Vegas. I think it's in a lot of cities. He has been to a lot of cities and does those seminars. So just look at the website on loveme.com. On the main website, it usually says if there's any dating seminar coming up. Same for you, McKissick. Any plans on having a seminar in the Francisco Bay area, especially in South Bay? As I said, we have to ask John again when he's back, but I think for next year, once he is getting infected to the seminars, then he will schedule. You usually see it on loveme.com on the main website if there will be anything scheduled for a city close around you. Let me see what else you're asking. I would have a hard time, John, I feel I would have a hard time with a tour in Colombia due to the language barrier. Mark, I think that is not true because lots of men come and don't have any knowledge of of Spanish at all, and they're doing great. So obviously it is a thing, but it's more in your head. And obviously it's something you want to improve, right? It's not that you want to be forever not able to speak Spanish or she forever not able to speak English, but it's really not true that you cannot find your connection without speaking the language. On the contrary, I'm always impressed how easy it is. And now you have a phone. I mean, you do a Google Translate, download the Google Translate, and then Google translates for you and talks to you. And you can also use a translator in the beginning, obviously not forever, but the Google Translate has an add-on you can put in your phone. And so it's really not, technology really made it so much easier. And as I said, it's really not that necessary. I mean, it's great if you speak the language, right? It's obviously better. But when I came here, I didn't speak any Spanish, and I met my husband here, and he didn't speak any English, and we were able to communicate, and we were able to date. So guys, it is possible. I can tell you from my own experience that this is possible. So obviously, for some it's easier, for some it's not, but I think it's more a mindset thing and just being open and trying to improve your language skills. And it takes time, and it's a thing of patience, but if you do it every day, there's an app called Duolingo. If you download that Duolingo, it's completely for free. And my dad actually came last December here and visited me. And afterwards, he and his wife, they used the Duolingo every day for 15 minutes. And then I came back to Germany in August, September, and they were able to do a fluent Spanish conversation with me. Obviously not forever, but for just doing 15 minutes every day on a free app, they were able to understand, to talk, to write, to read it. So I was really impressed. So try Duolingo, try to do it consistently every day, and believe me, you will get there. You guys are great. You're doing a great job on the tours, Rodolfo. Thank you so much. That is really nice to hear. We're trying really our best, and we really want you that you, as I said, feel happy. But the social's good and bad. Okay, Larry, the social's good and bad. It's like a lobster. Or you can eat lobster buffet, but on even given night, how much lobster can you consume without getting sick? I mean, this is always up to you when you go to a buffet how much you eat, right? So you don't have to eat hundreds of lobsters. So if you just like one lobster, that's fine too. So it doesn't have to be an overkill of lobsters. So it's completely up to you how you date. But if you're not feeling that this is the right venue or the right service for you, because I do have men who say, I don't want to be in a room with so many women. I don't want to do that. And I want to be a lot more quiet and private and something just me and her. No problem. We have the individual introductions. You can sign up. You cannot sign up from the website, but you can write us, and then we can send you the link where you can sign up from the website. And then, so yeah, you can sign up. And then you can do it, and you can go to every city, and you can go on individual introductions, and you pay a $125 membership fee for 10 days, where you get the matchmaking assistance in the office, and then you just pay 95 US per introduction. So if you don't want to be in a room full of lobsters, full of beautiful women, you don't have to. And if you are, you don't have to just go with really where you have a connection. And if you feel that after you have dated 2 or 3, there is no connection, then you can keep on dating, right? You can date also the people if you sign up for the tour, you can also date the women who are on the website who have not gone to the social, because maybe she couldn't come, or you like the profile, she didn't like to go to the social. Because as you guys sometimes don't like to go to social, the women also. So I think it's up to you what you make out of it. Who's the girl of the month? Ninth is asking. The girl of the month, I think, is still Diana, but we're going to update it soon. Diana is still dating. She just came also to our social event, and it was, she's getting to know, and you can still reach out to her, write the first letter for free. The language of love, exactly. If you don't speak the language of love, exactly. Eric, might be planning a Colombian visit. I'm looking forward to see you again. That would be cool. And if you continue to speak Colombian with a U, you will run into problems down there. It's not that you run into problems, but it's nice if you know how to spell the country where you go to. And there's Colombia in the US where you do it with you, but Colombia, South America is spelled with O. Colombia, two O's. So yeah, you don't get in trouble, but they make a little bit fun of it. Next Barranquilla tour. Yeah, let's get into the tour dates. Let me look at the website. I will give you just in 1 second the information. When will be the next tours and when will be the next tours for Latin America. So we have Medellin. It's the first one next year. Our Medellin tour in the end of January, 26th of January. So you can so if you want to do the deposit, there is if you go on the 2022, I think on the 2023 it's not yet there, but you can probably just use the same spot there. It's also for 2023, and it says if you're undecided, open reservation, choose later, and deposit 475. So you just click. Let me maybe show you my screen. That might help you. Kirk, if you're showing any footage right now, then try let me show my screen just for a second. So I don't know if you can see my screen right now, but here there are our tours, and here you can see if you're undecided, open reservation. You can click here, and then there's the 475 deposit, and then you can decide why you fill it out and which tour you want to do, and then you are set up. So let me scroll down here a little bit so that I can show you the tours for next year, because this year you see Cartagena, that's where we are. Mexico City sold out. And then you have the Medellin tour in the end of January, 26th of January until 1st of February. And then for the 7 days, we have the 10-day and the 14-day option. And then we have Mexico City again in February. Then we have Barranquilla again in March, at the beginning of March, 2nd of March, right after the Carnival. So if you want to go to Carnival, go first to Barranquilla, do the Carnival, and then you do the tour. It will be a lot of fun. Then we have Peru coming up right after, so you could do a double tour, Barranquilla, Peru. You go 1 week to Barranquilla and then 1 week to Peru. So that is possible. I will tell you the price just in a bit. There's the Peru Machu Picchu option, which is the longer tour option. Then Costa Rica, then Cartagena in the 13th of April. And then we have Medellin in the 1st of June. And then we have Barranquilla in August 10th. Then we have Medellin in September 21st. And then we have Cartagena again in November next year. And obviously the other Latin countries in between. So I hope you could see my screen right now. If not, go to lovely.com. On the right-hand side, you will see Latin tours or tour information. And then you can just click on any of those links and see the tour schedule for this and next year. So if you're not know what tour you want to do, you do here. If you're undecided, you do the 475. It's in the 2022 calendar. So let me see if you have any more questions. But meanwhile, get quickly in the travel restrictions, and I will show you 2 testimonials. And let's get in the travel restriction first, and then we go into the testimonials. But travel restrictions, the good news is there are none. For the vaccinated, you only need to fill out a check-in form both ways. Coming into the country, going out of the country. The airlines still in the US are checking on it. I don't know, I came from Europe, they did not check on me, but I heard in this tour the airlines are still checking, especially American Airlines, so make sure that you fill out that check-in form. If you don't know what that is, just Google it or ask us, and then we can also send you a tutorial video how to fill that out, because it's sometimes a little bit tricky. You need around 20 minutes, you fill that out 1 day prior to your travel. Like, not now, if not like 1 day before your departure. So check MIC. And then you bring your vaccination card if you're vaccinated. If you're not vaccinated, you need a COVID test. So you can choose between a PCR test, which can be valid up to 72 hours prior to your travel. For example, you fly on a Sunday and it's not that easy to go to a lab or something for you on the weekend, so then you can do the PCR option. It's usually a little bit more expensive. Or you do the antigen test, which is a lot cheaper and it's usually a lot quicker. Both are valid. The antigen is up to 48 hours prior to your travel. So keep that in mind, and that's the only thing you need, and you need your check-in form as well. For going back to the US, you don't need a COVID test, okay? You just need to put out the check-in form. So non-vaccinated people still need a COVID test. Vaccinated can enter, and going back, you don't need a test again, but you do need the check-in form. Yeah, any questions, you let me know. And then we go now to our 2 testimonials. One is from September from our Medellin tour. which are Mark and Sarah. So I want to show you both of them. They were on a city tour and they just met after the first social. And then the second one is Cornel and Carla, who just met on this last Friday social. And they went out several times and they had a really good time. And on Sunday on the party bus, and I think he will tell you. And then yesterday on the penthouse party, and they're looking really cute. And we're really happy for them. So here is their testimony. Now I'm here with Mark and Sarah. Mark and Sarah are just on a date here in the city tour in the beautiful city of Medellin. It is Saturday morning and I just wanted to check back 1 second how you are doing. Entonces, Sarah, ¿cómo te va? ¿Cómo estás?
Muy bien, gracias.
Me alegra. ¿Tú fuiste ayer al social? ¿Fue la primera vez para ti?
Sí, mi primera vez y me encantó, me sentí muy a gusto.
Qué bueno. ¿Y hace cuánto estás en la agencia? ¿Poquito?
Hace poco, esta semana.
Ah, no, tan nueva.
Sí.
¿Tu primera cita?
Sí, mi primera cita.
Qué bueno, qué bien.
Me siento muy contenta, me siento muy a gusto.
Ah, qué bueno. ¿Y cómo va tu cita?
Excelente, ahí vamos fluyendo en todo.
Qué bueno.
Esa es la idea.
Y él habla español, ¿cierto?
Un poco español, pero a mí me parece que lo habla perfecto. Yo hablo un poco inglés, entonces ahí vamos interactuando ambos.
Y tú, Sara, cuando te inscribiste ahora hace una semanita,
Sí.
¿tú inscribiste por qué? ¿Qué tipo de hombre estás buscando?
Yo en realidad pues busco una estabilidad, busco realmente algo serio. El tipo de hombre que me gusta a mí es que sea respetuoso, responsable, que realmente tenga la misma vibra y energía mía, porque también me encanta pues ser demasiado extrovertida y disfrutar de cada instante. Eso es lo más importante para mí.
¿Y tú tienes hijos? ¿Quieres hijos? ¿Has tenido hijos? ¿Cómo
Sí,
es?
tengo un hijo de 11 años. Me gustaría tener más hijos, obviamente, en una estabilidad de un hogar, de una familia, pero todo se va dando a medida de que uno va conociendo la media naranja de uno.
Así es. Y bueno, ahora están disfrutando tu ciudad. ¿Tú eres de Medellín?
Sí, yo soy paisa, 100%. Acá estamos en Palmas, deleitándonos de este
Con
clima
este
tan
hermoso, sí,
sabroso,
la verdad que sí.
la hermosa vista.
Sí. Buena
Espectacular,
compañía.
todo.
Me alegra. Y Mark, so how are you? ¿Cómo vas?
Muy bien, muy bien.
Ah, hablas bien español.
Un poco.
Where did you learn?
En escuela,
Okay.
en escuela.
And where are you from? You're from the US, right? Where from the US?
I'm from Charlotte, North Carolina. I was born in New York, but live in Charlotte, North Carolina now.
Okay. And first time for you in Medellin?
First time, I've been here 48 hours, and I can only say it's just a fantastic city. You would never believe it, but it is a great place, great people, fantastic food. The ladies at the agency work very, very hard to make sure everything is great. You know, everybody's happy, things move very smoothly, and I highly recommend people come to Colombia. It's fantastic. You're just going to love it.
Yeah, I love it. You know it. I always say it. I really love it. I love the Colombians. Just such a beautiful. The people and the country is just really amazing. And so you never dated a Latin woman before, or yes?
Oh, yes. In Costa Rica, in Nicaragua.
Okay. So you traveled a little bit.
Los países un poco diferente. They're a little different.
You like the Latin countries, so that's good.
Yes.
And what you are looking for, Mark?
Looking for joining two hearts together, two minds together, two lives together, and having a great adventure.
Good. Would you like to marry?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah?
Absolutely. Yeah.
That's good.
I'm looking for my future wife, for sure.
That's good. How long are you going to stay? The week or longer?
I'm here almost 2 weeks.
Oh wow, that's great.
But when I get back to the United States, I'm immediately going to plan another trip
Right
and
away.
immediately come back to Colombia.
away,
You know,
okay. Va a regresar, dice que va a estar 2 semanas acá, pero ya una vez que está de vuelta ya va a planificar la vuelta porque ya quiere regresar, sí, le encanta.
Estábamos hablando hasta hace poco.
Sí, qué bueno. So that you're doing fantastic. That's great. You haven't, you said it's already.
I was within 1 hour of landing here. I was doing great.
Yeah,
Just fantastic.
It's magical.
From my cab driver from the airport and to all the people around the hotel, all the people I've met around the agency, around the different communities. Parquilleras is fantastic. You're going to love it. You're just going to love it.
Social was good.
Social was great. Very interesting. Very fast. It's very fast.
Yes, I have to move you all the
Yes,
time.
you need. Yeah, Maria. She's very mean to us. She makes us shake.
Every 10 minutes. Yeah, but we already finished late. So.
No, Maria's fantastic. She keeps the trains running on time.
Yes. I try, but still we left like half an hour late today.
With all of us, it's like herding cats. So thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Very welcome. Gracias.
All of your staff.
Yes, it's a whole team effort here, definitely. Okay. Están súper bien, se están conociendo. Muchas gracias por compartir la experiencia. Entonces disfrutan su cita. Chao.
Nos encontramos con Carla y Cornel, que son una de las parejas que se conocieron durante el evento que tuvimos aquí en Cartagena. ¿Cómo estás, Carla?
Muy bien, gracias.
Hi, Cornel. How are you?
I'm doing great. How about yourself?
I'm great. Thank you for being here tonight. Muchas gracias por estar aquí esta noche. Y bueno, queremos saber un poquito más de cómo se conocieron, de cómo ha sido todo para ti, Carla, durante este momento que has estado inscrita en la agencia, para que nos cuentes cómo ha sido tu experiencia hasta ahora con la agencia.
Bueno, al principio poco creíble que podía conocer a una persona que llenara mis expectativas. Así que tuvimos una cita que fue en la Chiva rumbera y enseguida me dijo para una segunda cita y yo acepté, ya que ese día pues era solo bailar, pero hubo mucha química. Y ya el siguiente día en el almuerzo, pues a medida que escuchaba las cosas que quería, lo que decía que yo le transmitía, pues era mutuo. Entonces sentí que había encontrado la persona que quería.
Súper bien. Y cuéntanos un poquito de hace cuánto estás inscrita en la agencia, cuánto tiempo te tomó encontrar, por ejemplo, a Cornel como tal. ¿Te han llegado perfiles de caballeros que están interesados en ti? ¿Cómo ha sido como todo ese proceso con nosotros?
Estuve en el evento anterior. Y también han habido sí algunos caballeros interesados, pero no había tenido así citas, no. Y luego en este evento sí tuve una cita, una cena, y ya después pues fue suficiente salir con él y ya me quedé ahí.
Y bueno, te pregunto porque yo sé que muchas de las chicas que están viendo esta entrevista también sienten, digamos, esa misma inseguridad y esa misma desconfianza de si voy a encontrar la pareja a través de la agencia. Y bueno, para ti, ¿cómo fue ese primer momento en el que dijiste, bueno, me voy a inscribir, me va a dar la oportunidad? ¿Quién te habló de la agencia? ¿Cómo llegaste a la agencia?
Bueno, por una de las chicas que trabaja acá, llegó a mi trabajo y me habló de la agencia. Entonces me motivó, aunque sin embargo yo venía sin expectativas porque es que no, se me hacía un poco difícil, pues tan lejos, lo voy a ver una vez, después cuando lo veo me hacía esa pregunta.
¿Cómo va a ser todo? ¿Cómo va a funcionar de verdad?
Exacto,
eso?
Pero ya en vista de que yo estoy muy motivada, él también, pues ya ahora buscar las posibilidades para vernos más y bueno.
Muchas de las chicas que están inscritas en la agencia, ellas no hablan inglés y muchos de los caballeros que vienen pues no hablan tampoco español. ¿Cómo ha sido el tema de la comunicación con él? ¿Crees que realmente ha sido una barrera muy grande para ustedes o no ha sido ningún impedimento el hecho de que tú no hables inglés y él no hable hasta ahora español?
No ha sido una barrera porque ustedes cuentan con sus traductoras muy buenas, entonces mediante ellas pues podemos comunicarnos, aparte de que están las intenciones de que cada uno pues desea aprender el idioma del otro, pero se ha hecho muy fácil por la traducción de las chicas.
Súper bien, me alegra que todo hasta ahora haya fluido bien para ti y como tú dices, todo es cuestión también de paciencia, porque digamos en el primer evento no conociste realmente a nadie que cautivara tu atención y en este segundo evento sí tuviste la oportunidad de conocerlo a él y como tú lo dices, ya en cierto momento de la cita sentiste que había como esa química entre ustedes, entonces todo es cuestión también como de paciencia, dejarse llevar y mirar a ver qué pasa.
Exacto.
Cornel, thank you for being here tonight. I was talking with Carla about her experience and we want to know a little bit about your experience.
Okay.
So this is the first time that you are visiting Colombia.
Yes, this is my first time visiting here.
And how was the social for you? And also tell us a little bit about when you saw Carla, what day was that? What do you feel when you saw her, when you start today with her?
Okay, so the social was extremely pressuring, I'll tell you that. The social was
a lot of girls.
Yeah, it was a little bit fast-paced. It was very, very exhilarating and fast-paced and moving forward, and you only have 10 minutes. But I think the social itself was just, it was a well-organized chaos. That's how I see it. Yeah. It was an organized chaos that myself and many other guys had to navigate themselves around it. And to understand the dynamic of all these women that you put in a room, I mean, it's hard for us to sit in a room with 100 beautiful women, right? But you have to come here with perspective. So I came here with perspective and an open mind and, trying to meet someone, because that's the purpose of being here. And I could say when I went to her table, I think she was at table number 7 or 8. She was closer to the stage. It was Friday night. It was the first night, the first social. And when I went to the table, but she thought that I didn't have any interest, but I didn't want to give it away too quickly.
Okay.
So I was gazing at her a lot, but I just didn't want to give it away because there's so many women in the room, and you don't want to let other women feel, like.
And that is one of the advice that we give to the clients. Like, once you are here, please pay attention to all the girls in the table. Not only focus your attention in one girl, but after the social, let that girl know that you are interested in her. Right.
So, because she thought we had conversation later, and she's like, "Oh, I thought you weren't interested in me," and I'm like, "No, my gaze was on you. I just know how to play it off where I pay attention to everyone around the table." Because all the women, they're beautiful and they're important. Not because we're here to find one, but every woman should be treated equally and respect.
True. So yes, it's very important to have that.
So she thought that I liked her friend. But when I saw her the first time, and then when she spoke and told me where she was from, I love people from Venezuela. My heart is like literally like, wow, she is from the country that I really like. Not because I'm here in Colombia, but when I saw her the first time, I really liked her energy. She was just calm, collective, and she gives that energy that you feel like you want to be around it all the time. So I literally gaze upon her, and we moved me and my translator, thanks to her, Sarai, thanks to her, she definitely studied me, knew who I was, and knew what I liked. And she definitely made it possible too for me to meet Carla. And honestly, as I said, even though we had several different choices, I'm right here in this moment standing with her, and I'm hoping that
everything goes.
I wouldn't say, I'm not hoping for what I can't control. I'm just, for me, in my action, I'm just hoping that a year from now we could be standing here again in a whole different capacity.
Yes. Yeah. But I hope that everything goes well with you and her. And also, I want to know, because a lot of clients, they are coming here and they are very afraid about the language barrier. So I want to know, how was everything for you in that aspect? Like, the communication was easier. Also, your interpreter, she make everything much easier for you. Right. Because sometimes the clients, they don't want to have a third person during the dates, but I think that sometimes it's very helpful, and they are also not only an interpreter, they are also like a matchmaker person that is helping you during the date, right?
Right. But what I could tell people is this: look, if you're afraid of language barriers, then maybe this is not the place for you. But what I'll tell you this: if you're open, as I said, you come here with an open perspective. There's so many opportunities and apps that you could use to translate, Google Translate, whatever, Microsoft Translate, whichever you want to use. But as you said, the purpose of the translator is not just to translate. And if you feel uncomfortable with someone sitting down with you translating into a language that you don't speak, how would you feel if it's the other way in return? How would you like if someone was supposed to come to your country and you only spoke English and they're just sitting down, they don't understand you? So you have to put yourself in somebody else's shoe. And that gives you perspective to say, hey, it's not fair for me to want it my way. That's unrequited, right? It's just one-sided. So for me, it was easier to have, as I said, Sarai sitting there, and I was a little bit skeptic at first. I was like, okay, she's going to translate for me. But to give you some context, but my sisters are from Dominican Republic. I mean, they speak like 5,000 words per minute, but I can only understand like 2. So I understand functional Spanish. I just can't speak it as though I would want to. But as I said, Sarai, who is my interpreter and who is my translator, she made it so much more easier. She made it so easier for me to communicate, for Carla to understand me, for me to understand her. And then, funny enough, she discovered that I understand Spanish a little bit. I can't speak it as much as I would want to, but yeah, I would tell anyone that's coming here or anywhere else, don't be so hung up on the language,
Yes.
or if you can't speak it, because you're gonna learn to speak it. If you're dating a Latina, you're gonna learn how to speak it for sure. So, and she's gonna ensure that you learn how to speak it. But the definite translator made it easier.
Yes, and also I'm sure that if you start today with a Colombian girl, your Spanish is going to improve.
Yes,
That's for sure.
For sure. I can almost attest to that.
Yes.
Yes, for sure.
Carla, bueno, yo quiero saber, por ejemplo, qué le puedes decir a las chicas que están interesadas en inscribirse a la agencia y que tienen miedo a hacerlo, que se preguntan, ¿esto será que sí funciona? Si ir a conocer a alguien. ¿Tú qué podrías decirle a ellas?
Bueno, pues cada persona tiene una perspectiva distinta, pero es que o sea, cada persona tiene su persona y es cuestión de asistir, de conocer, de estar abierta a saber qué le gusta. Pues a veces hay personas que son tímidas y no alcanzamos a simple vista saber qué busca. Pero a medida que de pronto asistes a alguna cita, sabes qué quiere y encuentras quizás esa empatía con esa persona. Incluso yo vine al evento pasado y no encontré, pero entonces ya ahora por segunda vez vuelvo y bueno, esta vez sí, a otras personas les tomará más tiempo. Otras chicas pues será en la primera vez que vayan y consigan a su persona, pero no hay que negarse a esa oportunidad.
Yo creo que es eso precisamente, darse la oportunidad de salir, de conocer y de saber que todo es sin ningún tipo de compromiso. Entonces, al final no vas a perder absolutamente nada por conocer a una persona y ver qué puede pasar.
Exacto, porque es que es eso, conocer. Si no lo intentas, pues quizás allá está el amor tuyo esperándote y tú
no te vas a dar cuenta.
Exactamente.
Bueno, chicos, muchas gracias por estar aquí esta noche, por contarnos un poco de su historia, de su experiencia con nosotros. Thank you so much, Cornel, for being here tonight and share with us your experience. Y espero que les vaya súper bien en todo este camino que apenas está empezando y que seguramente y esperamos que tenga un final muy feliz.
Gracias.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you for having me. And as I said, Spanish is not my first language. Vendemos más tarde. I'm going to come back here later, right? See, I'm learning it already.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Testimonials, guys. Two of you were like you sitting in front of that screen, not knowing if to come, what to do, what to expect, and they took the decision to do so. And we're always very happy for everybody who takes the decision to come and to, go out of the country and just make that experience on your own, meeting people, getting to know different culture, learning about yourself, learning about other women, learning, like maybe helping you and coaching you a little bit how to do it successfully, what a woman really wants. And so that is great that Cornel and Mark decided to come, and like a lot of other guys on those tours and in general, and really looking forward, and really I think most people are really surprised by Colombia, so I hope we can surprise you as well. And we have a couple of last questions, and then we're at the end of our show tonight. So let me get one more time in your question. So Night is saying the scenery of Medellin is amazing. Yes, Night. Medellin, the views, the mountains, the city at night. There are a lot of view spots in the city. You can go out. We did that in Las Palmas. And there you have the miradors, the viewpoints, and it's really beautiful. Daytime and nighttime, the city is, quite a impressive thing to see. And probably some of you were asking, why is Manuela doing the interview with Carlton if we did a Cartagena tour? What does Manuela do in Cartagena? Manuela is from Medellin, from the Medellin office, but we had, as John was here, Ken was here, Kevin was here, we had 3 people from Phoenix coming on this tour. It was very special for us, and so we had, like what John was already saying, he took all of the stuff here as well to be together, to celebrate, to be together on that tour. And Manuela was here, she just got home today. Claudia was here. Most of you don't know Claudia yet. She's from the Barranquilla office. She's amazing. She just started like 2-3 months ago with us. So she was here. We had Patricia from Medellin here as well. We had Sarah from Peru here as well. Obviously, ladies and Alexandra and Laura from Cartagena. So we were like a big group. Maria Fernanda from Barranquilla, who does a lot of our filming as well. So I said Kevin, Ken, and John were here. So we had a blast. We had a great time. Everybody went on this party bus together, and it was just an amazing experience. And as I said, the group of the guys were just nice, special, great, beautiful, focused. So yeah, we had a really good time here in Cartagena, and I hope you will be coming as well. We always had a good time in Cartagena, and yeah, so that's why you see Manuela doing the interview and not me, because usually I do the most in Cartagena or Barranquilla. And so, yeah, last questions of you, Eric. Mature man, stability and security in face with this. That's what they want. They want a mature man. That's what you're saying. A mature man is stability, security, and faith witness. Yes, and I think that is why a lot of women look for a mature man, because here Colombian men are not very mature, exactly like you see. At the age of 40, sometimes they still live at home and don't know how to take care of everything, you know, of a woman, of a relationship and all that. And so it's not uncommon that women here date a man who is a little bit older in their own culture, not necessarily foreigners. Colombian woman is used to date a man who's older, a Colombian man, because the younger ones are not that serious yet. So yeah, you can date. There was one question: can we meet young girls, date older men? But yes, I mean, I would always recommend you don't do too young, because it makes more sense. You would just lose your time and just get disoriented and disfocused, and you don't want that. You want to use your time wisely. So don't do too young. Obviously, you can go on a date with a beautiful young woman, but it's great if you think a little bit more long term and if you look into marriage and all that, then you also have to have things in common, right? So definitely the age difference is possible, but I would really recommend you not doing too much, because then you get a couple of problems. And the closer you stay to the age, to your age, and if it's 10, 15 years age difference, we usually see quite good results with the age difference. So music is saying, let me see, music, people saying different things I saw. Most people in Costa Rica speak English, and I've been to Medellin, surprised how many people understand English. Yes, and a lot of girls do speak English. It's not that not. Lots of them have a basic knowledge, because most of them do learn in school. It's just that they're not able to practice it very much, and they were not able to practice it so much because Colombia was not as touristy a couple of years ago. So now the mindset is changing, the tourism is growing, and so now the people start really learning English, and there's a huge demand for English speakers. So yeah, a lot of women are learning. So so yeah, that is true. There are a lot of English-speaking people here as well. Latinas are very loyal and also very jealous. Yes, Lai, you are quite right. They can be very jealous, and that's why I'm saying jealousy is usually insecurity. And so if you text her often, you tell her that you love her, you tell her how nice and beautiful she is and how grateful you are that you have her in her life, and you do that on a daily basis, believe me, she will not be very jealous. It's just when you don't behave like she's used to, and you guys are usually behave like with an independent woman, and you don't want to bother, and so then sometimes she gets insecure and very jealous. And yeah, obviously you have to be a little bit careful, but usually I have not seen bad cases if the man really gives the woman the attention and the love she wants. So yeah. Is it better for one guy per table, multiple guys on one table? Nice. Our socials until this year were in Colombia with one guy per table, but I do think for next year it's possible we will do two guys per table, but we might split the table up, right? So if there's 6 girls or 7 girls at the table, or 8 or whatever, probably 8, we do 4, and you sit at the same table, but you talk here to 4, and the other guy talks to the other 4, then you switch, you took the 4 to the 4, and then you move to the next table. It's very similar to what we do right now, but it allows us to have more matches, to have more clients, to have more of you guys coming and being able to do the speed dating as we like to do it here in Colombia. I know in the Ukraine you don't do the speed dating on the table to per table moving. If not, you just walk around the room. But we like to do the speed dating because I do think it's nice that everybody meets everybody, because I think that's the beauty of the social, that you meet a woman you did not expect to meet, and there are connections you were not thinking that you're going to have them. And so definitely I would love to keep on doing the speed dating so everybody can meet everybody. So I think from next year we're going to have 2 men at the table. I do not have children and would like to meet girls without children. Sorry if I sound arrogant, but I want to maximize my time. How do we do this? music that is very common. Lots of men look for a woman without children and want their own children. So there are several ways to do it. I mean, you invite the ones on your list. If you talk about social right now, you invite the ones you like without children and invite them to the social, and then you can focus a little bit more on the tables, right? And you do meet everybody, but obviously if you have 8 women at the table and 5 do not want a child, then you concentrate a little bit more on the 3 who want a child and don't have children, right? So, but also, you would not see how surprised I am often, because the men say, I'm looking for somebody without children, I don't want somebody who has a child. And then they sit on the social, see that woman fall in love, and she has a child. And then they say, okay, I don't care. So we're going to figure it out. So yeah, definitely you can come and do exactly that, but just keep an open mind. You might be surprised if you also meet with a child. And if you do the one-on-one dates and the Latin clubs, obviously we assist you in helping you to find those women who have no children and want children, so no problem. Uncle Luke, I'm looking into marrying a beautiful Colombian woman. Uncle Luke, then you're on the right spot, on the right website, on the right webcast. Just write me an email or give me a call. My extension is 2018. So if you call the Phoenix number and dial in 2018, it rings on my phone and I can answer you. Or you write me an email at afacolombia7@gmail.com. So if you would like to marry a Colombian woman, welcome. We would love to help you definitely to find that great woman. So I think that was about it. What is the next Barranquilla tour? Yepio is asking, I met a wonderful lady, but email is not only expensive but takes forever. Can I still plan to meet her? Even the next tour is up to next year. So definitely you can you can meet her. So if you have somebody you're under letters with and you really want to go make the connection in person, which I really recommend, then you can go anytime. As I said, you pay 125 membership fee plus 95, so you pay 220 for the date, and then you can just meet her. And you don't have to go on a tour to meet her. Yeah, I hope that helped you guys. We are at the end of our show tonight. I'm looking forward to see you again and hear you again and read from you again in 2 weeks when we are back on the webcast. And then, as I said, for next year, hopefully we can do a weekly webcast. That would be great, because you guys have a lot of questions and you do enjoy it. So that is pretty great for us. And I thank you for being here, for tuning in. I'm really happy that John was here, Ken here, Kevin here, and yeah, all the guys here, and like it was a beautiful week. And so I hope to see you in one of our socials, in one of our tours, or somewhere here in Colombia. Have a really great evening, guys, and yeah, stay safe and take care. Bye bye. Greetings from Cartagena, Colombia.
Now I'm here with Mark and Sarah. Mark and Sarah are just on a date here in the city tour, in the beautiful city of Medellin. It is Saturday morning, and I just wanted to check back 1 second how you are doing. Entonces, Sarah, ¿cómo te va? ¿Cómo estás?
Muy bien, gracias.
Me alegra. ¿Tú fuiste ayer al social? ¿Fue la primera vez para ti?
Sí, mi primera vez y me encantó, me sentí muy a gusto.
Qué bueno. ¿Y hace cuánto estás en la agencia? ¿Poquito?
Hace poco, esta semana.
Ah, no, tan nueva. ¿Tu primera cita?
Sí, mi primera cita.
Qué bueno, qué bien.
Me siento muy contenta, me siento muy a gusto.
Ah, qué bueno. ¿Y cómo va tu cita?
Excelente, ahí vamos fluyendo en todo.
Bueno.
Esa es la idea.
Y él habla español, ¿cierto?
Un poco español, pero a mí me parece que lo habla perfecto. Yo hablo un poco inglés, entonces ahí vamos interactuando ambos.
Y tú, Sara, cuando te inscribiste ahora hace una semanita, sí. ¿Tú inscribiste por qué? ¿Qué tipo de hombre estás buscando?
Yo en realidad pues busco una estabilidad, busco realmente algo serio. El tipo de hombre que me gusta a mí es que sea respetuoso, responsable, que realmente tenga la misma vibra y energía mía, porque también me encanta pues ser demasiado extrovertida y disfrutar de cada instante. Eso es lo más importante para mí.
¿Y tú tienes hijos? ¿Quieres hijos? ¿Has tenido hijos? ¿Cómo
sí,
es?
Tengo un hijo de 11 años. Me gustaría tener más hijos, obviamente, en una estabilidad de un hogar, de una familia, pero todo se va dando a medida de que uno va conociendo la media naranja de uno.
Así es. Y bueno, ahora están disfrutando tu ciudad. ¿Tú eres de Medellín?
Sí, yo soy paisa, 100%. Acá estamos en Palmas, deleitándonos de este clima tan sabroso,
sí, la verdad que sí.
La hermosa vista.
Sí. buena
Espectacular,
compañía.
todo.
Me alegra. Y Mark, so how are you? ¿Cómo vas?
Muy bien, muy bien.
Ah, hablas bien español.
Un poco.
Where did you learn?
En la escuela.
Okay.
En la escuela.
And where are you from? You're from the US, right? Where from the US?
So I'm from Charlotte, North Carolina. I was born in New York, but live in Charlotte, North Carolina now.
Okay. And first time for you in Medellin?
First time, I've been here 48 hours, and I can only say it's just a fantastic city. You would never believe it, but it is a great place, great people, fantastic food. The ladies at the agency work very, very hard to make sure everything is great. You know, everybody's happy, things move very smoothly, and I highly recommend people come to Colombia. It's fantastic. You're just going to love it.
Yeah, I love it. You know it. I always say it. I really love it. I love the Colombians. Such a beautiful. The people and the country is just really amazing. And so you never dated a Latin woman before, or yes?
Oh, yes. In Costa Rica, in Nicaragua.
Okay. So you traveled a little bit.
Los países un poco diferente. They're a little different.
You like the Latin countries, so that's good.
Yes.
And what you are looking for, Mark?
Looking for joining two hearts together, two minds together, two lives together, and having a great adventure.
Good. Would you like to marry?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah?
Absolutely. Yeah.
That's good.
I'm looking for my future wife.
Oh, that's
for sure.
That's good. How long are you going to stay? The week or longer?
I'm here almost 2 weeks.
Oh, wow. That's great.
But when I get back to the United States, I'm immediately going to plan another trip and immediately come back to Colombia.
Right away, okay.
You know.
Va a regresar, dice que va a estar 2 semanas acá, pero ya una vez que está de vuelta ya va a planificar la vuelta porque ya quiere regresar, sí, le encanta.
Estábamos hablando hasta hace poco.
Sí, qué bueno. So you're doing fantastic. That's great. You said it's already.
I was within 1 hour of landing here. I was doing great.
Yeah,
Just fantastic.
It's magical.
From my cab driver from the airport and to all the people around the hotel. All the people I've met around the agency, around the different communities. Parquilleras is fantastic. You're going to love it. You're just going to love it.
Social was good?
Social was great. Very interesting. Very fast. It's very fast.
Yes, I move you all the
yes,
time.
you need. Yeah, Maria. She's very mean to us. She makes us change.
Every 10 minutes. Yeah, but we already finished late. So.
No, Maria's fantastic. She keeps the trains running on time.
Yes. I try, but still we left like half an hour late today.
With all of us, it's like herding cats. So thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Very welcome. Gracias.
All of your staff.
Yes. It's a whole team effort here, definitely. Okay. Están súper bien, se están conociendo. Muchas gracias por compartir la experiencia. Entonces disfrutan su cita. Chao.
Nos encontramos con Carla y Cornel, que son una de las parejas que se conocieron durante el evento que tuvimos aquí en Cartagena. ¿Cómo estás, Carla?
Muy bien, gracias.
Hi, Cornel. How are you?
I'm doing great. How about yourself?
I'm great. Thank you for being here tonight. Muchas gracias por estar aquí esta noche. Y bueno, queremos saber un poquito más de cómo se conocieron, de cómo ha sido todo para ti, Carla, durante este momento que has estado inscrita en la agencia, para que nos cuentes cómo ha sido tu experiencia hasta ahora con la agencia.
Bueno, al principio poco creíble que podía conocer a una persona que llenara mis expectativas. Así que tuvimos una cita que fue en la Chiva rumbera y enseguida me dijo para una segunda cita y yo acepté, ya que ese día pues era solo bailar, pero hubo mucha química. Y ya el siguiente día en el almuerzo, pues a medida que escuchaba las cosas que quería, lo que decía que yo le transmitía, pues era mutuo. Entonces sentí que había encontrado la persona que quería.
Súper bien. Y cuéntanos un poquito de hace cuánto estás inscrita en la agencia, cuánto tiempo te tomó encontrar, por ejemplo, a Cornel como tal. ¿Te han llegado perfiles de caballeros que están interesados en ti? ¿Cómo ha sido como todo ese proceso con nosotros?
Estuve en el evento anterior. Y también han habido algunos caballeros interesados, pero no había tenido así citas, no. Y luego en este evento sí tuve una cita, una cena, y ya después pues fue suficiente salir con él y ya me quedé ahí.
Y bueno, te pregunto porque yo sé que muchas de las chicas que están viendo esta entrevista también sienten, digamos, esa misma inseguridad y esa misma desconfianza de si sí voy a encontrar la pareja a través de la agencia. Y bueno, para ti, ¿cómo fue ese primer momento en el que dijiste, bueno, me voy a inscribir, me voy a dar la oportunidad? ¿Quién te habló de la agencia? ¿Cómo llegaste a la agencia?
Bueno, por una de las chicas que trabaja acá, llegó a mi trabajo y me habló de la agencia. Entonces me motivó, aunque sin embargo yo venía sin expectativas porque es que no, se me hacía un poco difícil, pues tan lejos, lo voy a ver una vez, después cuando lo veo me hacía esa pregunta.
¿Cómo va a ser todo? ¿Cómo va a funcionar de verdad eso?
Exacto, pero ya en vista de que yo estoy muy motivada, él también, pues ya ahora buscar las posibilidades para vernos más. Y bueno,
muchas de las chicas que están inscritas en la agencia, ellas no hablan inglés, y muchos de los caballeros que vienen pues no hablan tampoco español. ¿Cómo ha sido el tema de la comunicación con él? ¿Crees que realmente ha sido una barrera muy grande para ustedes o no ha sido ningún impedimento el hecho de que tú no hables inglés y él no hable hasta ahora español?
No ha sido una barrera porque ustedes cuentan con sus traductoras muy buenas, entonces mediante ellas pues podemos comunicarnos, aparte de que están las intenciones de que cada uno pues desea aprender el idioma del otro, pero se ha hecho muy fácil por la traducción de las chicas.
Súper bien, me alegra que todo hasta ahora haya fluido bien para ti. Y como tú dices, todo es cuestión también de paciencia, porque digamos en el primer evento no conociste realmente a nadie que cautivara tu atención, y en este segundo evento sí tuviste la oportunidad de conocerlo a él, y como tú lo dices, ya en cierto momento de la cita sentiste que había como esa química entre ustedes. Entonces todo es cuestión también como de paciencia, dejarse llevar y mirar a ver qué pasa.
Exacto.
Cornel, thank you for being here tonight. I was talking with Carla about her experience, and we want to know a little bit about your experience.
Okay.
So this is the first time that you are visiting Colombia.
Yes, this is my first time visiting here.
And how was the social for you? And also tell us a little bit about when you saw Carla. What day was that? What do you feel when you saw her, when you start to date with her?
Okay, so the social was extremely pressuring, I'll tell you that. The social was
a lot of girls.
Yeah, it was a little bit fast-paced. It was very, very exhilarating and fast-paced and moving forward, and you only have 10 minutes. But I think the social itself was just, it was a well-organized chaos. That's how I see it. Yeah, it was an organized chaos that myself and many other guys had to navigate themselves around it, and to understand the dynamic of all these women that you put in a room. I mean, it's hard for us to sit in a room with 100 beautiful women, right? But it's you have to come here with perspective. So I came here with perspective and an open mind, and trying to meet someone, because that's the purpose of being here. And I could say when I went to her table, I think she was at table number 7 or 8. She was closer to the stage. It was Friday night. It was the first night, the first social. And when I went to the table, but she thought that I didn't have any interest, but I didn't want to give it away too quickly.
Okay.
So I was gazing at her a lot, but I just didn't want to give it away because there's so many women in the room, and you don't want to let other women feel, like.
And that is one of the advice that we give to the clients. Like, once you are here, please pay attention to all the girls in the table. Not only focus your attention in one girl, but after the social, let that girl know that you are interested in her.
Right. So, because she thought we had conversation later, and she's like, "Oh, I thought you weren't interested in me," and I'm like, "No, my gaze was on you. I just know how to play it off where I pay attention to everyone around the table." Because all the women, they're beautiful and they're important. Not because we're here to find one, but every woman should be treated equally and respect.
True.
So
yes, it's very important to have that.
So she thought that I liked her friend. But when I saw her the first time, and then when she spoke and told me where she was from, I love people from Venezuela. My heart is like literally like, wow, she is from the country that I really like. Not because I'm here in Colombia, but when I saw her the first time, I really liked her energy. She was just calm, collective, and she gives that energy that you feel like you want to be around it all the time. So I literally gazed upon her, and we moved. Me and my translator, thanks to her, Sarai, thanks to her, she definitely studied me, knew who I was, and knew what I liked, and she definitely made it possible too for me to meet Carla. And honestly, as I said, even though we had several different choices, I'm right here in this moment standing with her, and I'm hoping that
everything goes
I wouldn't say, I'm not hoping for what I can't control. I'm just, for me, in my action, I'm just hoping that a year from now we could be standing here again in a whole different capacity.
Yes. But I hope that everything goes well with you and her. And also, I want to know, because a lot of clients, they are coming here and they are very afraid about the language barrier. So I want to know, how was everything for you in that aspect? Like, the communication was easier. Also, your interpreter, she make everything much easier for you.
Right.
Because sometimes the clients, they don't want to have a third